basically is the Geist the Saint Draft, but that's like a cheap creature that has hexproof, and this is like an
Yep.
expensive equipment that they can kill the guy, but then you can reuse it.
Yep. I guess we started doing this a lot more in WoW TCG, and for those of you who are not familiar with the game, it has a lot of similarities to Magic. One of the big differences is direct attacking, which means that instead of you attack and then I decide how to block, you get to go attack my 3/3 into your 2/2, etc., etc.
Right.
And something that I like to do a lot with cards is say when X deals combat damage to an opposing player, because then it just sets up like little missions inside of the game where it's like I want to connect with my guy and you're trying to prevent damage to yourself or block or something there the equivalent thereof to like prevent me from getting my trigger. I think it's just generally speaking better gameplay when you encourage that sort of interaction, which this card kind of doesn't. It's just like this just happens, like you just get your token.
Right.
Um, and so I guess with these, I prefer designs where it's like, no, you actually have to deal damage to the opponent to get whatever the trigger is. And obviously, you would have to change the numbers on this thing because um, it would probably be like too bad for what they're trying to do with this card at these numbers. But I would rather the numbers be more aggressive and actually make it predicated on connecting to get your token rather than um, just automatically happening. Also, it's potentially a sweeter recipe because it's like, okay, I connected once, now I just made a flying token, so now I'm way more likely to connect in subsequent turns because now I have an evasion creature.
Yeah.
Um, Tells a better story than.
My reaction is, well, like on connection is kind of weird because that's kind of like blue and green territory. But what white does is, and again, you'd have to tweak the numbers around, is like when something dies, usually they become spirits, but why not become an angel? And then, like, you can equip this thing onto your new angel, and then they can't kill your angel without just giving you another angel, which
Mhm.
flavor wise doesn't really
Right,
work, I guess, but yeah,
right.
angels are immortal, why not? Um, Obviously, at, 4 and 4, this just giving you an angel every turn is way better,
Yep.
but I don't know,
But
the,
overall, I think this is a totally fine, sweet card or whatever. But I
yeah.
would prefer, I guess, the numbers to be cheaper, and actually predicated on connecting because I think it's just more interactive gameplay when that's what the trigger point is.
Yeah, I think there's definitely good argument for more interactive gameplay, but like I think that we definitely, or I don't want to speak for you, have like a bias against this card just because I can't like compartmentalize it in my brain.
What do
Like
you mean exactly?
it's just like such a unique effect. I
Oh,
literally
sure.
cannot think of another card that like does something similar to this, where that automatically like my inner spike is just like ew, I don't like change.
Oh,
But
sure.
uh but like I'm trying to take myself out of that mindset. This card's actually like pretty sweet.
Hmm. No,
It's
I actually think this is. I don't want to sound like I'm overly critical. I think this is a sweet design, but I would have preferred for it to be predicated on connecting.
yeah,
That is all. All right, Narstrad Scrapper.
I gotta love me a scrapper. I don't know what this thing
Yep,
does yet, but
an honest man doing an honest day's work.
oh man, this is
An Adam Chambers
yep, a
Invitational
chamber's
card.
specialty. You
Adam
mean my three
Chambers.
three for 5 can trade up?
Yeah, yeah. This is yeah. For those of you who don't know, Adam Chambers is he's like a sort of semi-retired Magic player who was um,
Way better
one
than
of
you'll
the
ever
like
be.
one of the like 37 different Future of American Magics at one point or another in
Right.
2004, and he was a big fan of playing 5 mana 3/3s, etc., etc. So
18
this guy
lands
would have been
always draw first.
yep, just grind them out with hill giants and worse.
He
Was
uh
his
he like came back. All right, story time. So I actually got a Facebook message from him. I don't think we had
mhm,
ever met, like years ago, about some article that I had printed that there was a lot of controversy over, and people, I was like kind of being the target of a grab your torches and pitchforks type thing, and he actually like sent me a message that was like really out of the blue but super nice and like supportive and saying like he thought I was doing a good job and like liked my articles, especially X, Y, and Z. Like he had actually read my stuff, and it was awesome because obviously I looked up to him when I was starting. And
mhm,
then my only other interaction with him